second dinner party.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Peter Overton, and welcome to So They Can's Global Dinner Party. What a treat to be with you tonight, wherever you are on the planet. As I said, my name's Peter Overton. I'm honoured to be your Master of Ceremonies this evening for this incredible global dinner, and I'm coming to you live from the Hilton Hotel in Sydney and Glass Brasserie, which is owned by Luke Mangan, one of our most celebrated chefs, and I'll be talking to Luke very shortly. I'm a proud ambassador, as I said, and this is a no-brainer to come and join you for this dinner party tonight. I firmly believe in the power of education. I have two daughters myself, and education to empower and change lives. So the children that So They Can supports in Kenya and Tanzania have been born into severe hardship and severe poverty, and to be able to support their empowerment through So They Can is something I'm just delighted to be a part of and play a small role. Tonight we're on a mission to raise $60,000. I think that's the bottom line we should raise. I think we should be heading north. Triple figures sounds wonderful to me, minimum $100,000. But if we get 60, I know we'll be very happy, because we have over 480 dinner parties going on right now around the world. As I said, I'm coming to you from Sydney, Australia. We have dinner parties tonight in New Zealand, Scotland, England, Singapore, Africa, Germany, and the United States of America. So 480 dinner parties, let's say there's 6 guests at each one. My rough mathematics suggests that's close to 3,000 people who've dialed into us tonight for this global dinner party. Just terrific. So, you know what? If we all donate a little bit tonight and we get to that $60,000, So They Can's partner schools will be able to provide a hot, wholesome lunch to every student for an entire year. For most, it will be the only meal they get all day. It will enable the children to focus on education, and hopefully it will break that poverty cycle, and a generation will come through that are educated because we've been able to fuel them with lovely, nourishing food. Now, I talked to my two daughters about this and what I'm doing tonight, and they actually stopped and listened, because I think they understand that they go to a good school, they have a great life, they get 3 meals a day, they get whatever they want. And I'm thinking, think to Tanzania, think to Kenya, think about what these kids are going through and what we can do as an organisation, and all of you around the world tonight can do to provide funds to provide 1 meal a day. Unbelievable. You know what that meal will do? It'll stop them from passing out as they walk to school every day. An hour there, an hour back. That's the average time it takes. So I really hope that that little story, that little anecdote about the bottom line about why we're here helps you dig into your wallet tonight and help So They Can. It's important everyone understands what So They Can has achieved so far. So They Can supports 42 schools across Kenya and Tanzania. I've been to Kenya. I remember going there with pens and rulers and sharpeners and rubbers, and they just lit up. They know the value of education. That was when I was reporting for 60 Minutes. It's one of my fondest memories. We also have a teachers' college that graduates 120 students every year, and it's the top performing teachers' college in the entire country of Tanzania. Our core program is education because it's simple. We firmly believe that education is the key to sustainably breaking the poverty cycle. Our education program is supported by 3 enhancement programs: women and girls empowerment, child wellbeing, and community health and support. Tonight, of course, is about fun, food and fabulous music, but it's also about raising money to help feed these vulnerable children. So please, dig deep. I'm assuming around the world that your donations are tax deductible. I certainly know in Australia that they're tax deductible, and I would imagine that's the case in all of our countries tonight. Many thanks to those who've already participated in the silent auction. For most, the bids close at 9 p.m. Sydney time. That's 11 p.m. in New Zealand. But if for those of you who are interested, now this is the best. This is the best. If you're interested in the legendary Neil Finn dedicating 2 songs to you tonight, playing live into our dinner parties around the world, then I really encourage you to bid. You've got about 35 minutes, so 6:15 Sydney time. the bids for Neil, Finn, to play into the dinner parties tonight. 2 songs dedicated to whoever you like. That's when the bids close. 6:15, 35 minutes from now. So if you're a CEO, a CFO of a big company hosting a dinner party somewhere around the world tonight, I know you usually budget as companies for donations at the beginning of the year or the beginning of your financial year, but you also have the power to write a cheque. And you also have the ability to write an email to all of your staff on Monday morning and say, this is what I did on Saturday night. These are the kids that I helped, we helped, our company helped, and I donated this $5,000 or $10,000 under your names. And tell them the story about how one meal a day can change a child's life in Kenya or Tanzania. So I hope that resonates with you. If you're a boss of a big company, it'll be terrific if you could write that cheque, make that donation. And I'll tell you where you can go. SoTheyCan.org/global dinner. SoTheyCan.org/global dinner. Now, if you want to bid on Neil Finn, this is a beauty too. SoTheyCan.org/auction. Correct, Emily? Emily's my sidekick from So They Can. So they're the 2 email websites you need to go to, and we'll keep plugging them throughout the evening. So let me just take you through the evening for you, and I will be quiet shortly, I promise you. You'll be hearing from So They Can's co-founder and CEO, Cassandra Treadwell. At 6 o'clock Sydney time, 8 o'clock in New Zealand, we'll be joining the celebrated Australian chef Luke Mangan from his glass brasserie here at the Hilton Hotel. And I'll tell you a story about Luke when we come to do our cooking class. It's a beautiful restaurant, a beautiful room, and it's back open for business. And I know Luke is excited to be helping us tonight. Then when our meal prep is done and our main meal is in the oven, Neil Finn is going to play for us all, for all of us, from his home in New Zealand. So that is pretty much why we're here tonight, why you've signed up to be part of this global dinner party. It is an enormous honour. If I may, I'd just like to thank Alex and Demi, Phil and Rory and Lindsay from Momentum Media. Momentum Media. I've donated my time, Luke's donated his time, and Momentum Media has said, we'll help you too. We'll come along with all our equipment. You can't see the equipment they've got here, and we're streaming around the world because of them. So I honour you, I thank you, and I salute you. Thank you very much to you all. But before I go any further, I've got a bit of a surprise for you. I just want to check in to Auckland, New Zealand. G'day, Neil. Can you hear me, my friend?
Hello, Peter. Yes, I can hear you clearly, and thank you for your wonderful explanation of the amazing work that So They Can do, and I'm incredibly proud and pleased to be part of their organisation, and I've been supporting them and an ambassador, as you have, for many years now. So, yeah, it's incredible work they do, and I'm here, really, I've got my guitar in the corner in my writing room here in Auckland, and I know there's good food on the way. 480 dinner parties, some of which will be occurring very early in the morning in the UK. So you're going to have the flashiest breakfast anyone's ever seen over there. But I welcome you all, and I'm excited to play music for you a little bit later on. There might be a few people going to bid for a couple of special dedications, so I encourage you to throw them at me. Standing by, I'm in good voice, and I'm looking forward to playing for you all. So They Can, that's why we're here. Have an excellent night, and I'm going to hand you over now to Cassandra, who's in Wanaka, without whom this whole thing wouldn't have got started. Cassandra.
Oh, thanks so much, Peter and Neil. We're just so lucky to have you both as ambassadors. I couldn't be prouder of you both. So thank you for giving up your time tonight. I also couldn't be more proud of our So They Can team, who are currently changing the lives of 45,000 children and their communities over the last 12 years since we started. The communities we work with in Africa, they constantly teach me how to live better and to focus on the positives and to be courageous. So They Can started with a request from an internally displaced persons camp, Pipeline IDP camp, to educate their children. And 11 years ago, we built our first school, Aberdare Rangers Primary School, for those children. Aberdare now educates 1,200 children. And a few years ago, I was told by our pipeline IDP secretary, actually, that a father in that camp had an infected toe. He had waited for a few weeks, hoping that it would get better, as his family couldn't afford the $1.20 bus fare to get him to a doctor. A few months later, I was back in Africa, and I was at that IDP camp, and a large family came and they found me, and they gave me a huge hug. And finally, sort of emerging from all these gorgeous hugs, I saw the man. He was walking towards me on crutches, and he had just one leg. And he told me when he got to hospital, his toe had caused his leg to be so septic that they had to amputate it at the hip. And I was just devastated. All I could actually focus on when I saw him was that the $1.20 was sent too late. However, all his family focused on was just how lucky he was to be alive. The communities we work with, they constantly teach me to be grateful for what I have got and not to focus on the things that I haven't got. There is this really beautiful African philosophy that I talk to so many of you about, known as Ubuntu. And it's deeply embedded in our values at So They Can. In short, Ubuntu means I am because of you, or as Archbishop Desmond Tutu once beautifully defined Ubuntu, our personal well-being is just so deeply connected to the well-being of others. To check we're sort of actually achieving our goals of empowering through education, we closely monitor and evaluate our work with extensive sort of data that shows our schools are actually performing on average 20% better than other schools. But data aside, it's the human stories we collect that make us feel the impact of our work every day. And this is wee Salome. 7 years ago, Salome was an orphan that Kerry and I collected from a particularly horrendous IDP camp in Kenya, where the people who'd been caring for her, they dressed her in this gorgeous hand-knitted green cardigan, and they handed me over to her, and we brought her to our Mitamingi Children's Village. It was quite a long drive from her IDP camp to Mitamingi Village, and it was getting dark when we arrived. And our house mothers, when the van arrived, they scooped Salome up from my arms in the van, and they tucked her into bed with a little teddy. But I remember leaving Salome that night, and her large sort of scared eyes, they haunted me. And I anxiously questioned, when I was going back to where I was staying, whether we'd actually done the right thing, taking her from an environment that, although horrific, was at least familiar. It took until the end of that week for Salome to relax and smile, but then she never stopped. And now Salome is this bright, confident, curious, happy, gorgeous child with an infectious smile, and everyone that meets Salome, they fall instantly in love with her. So we work in 3 communities now across Kenya and Tanzania, and we've recently begun working in our 3rd community, East Pokot in Kenya. 90% of our East Pokot girls are forced to suffer female genital cutting, and 85% of the girls are sold as child brides to a significantly older man between the ages of 7 and 13 years old. And when I go to East Pokot, these girls, they tell me that they're the property of their father and their brothers. And as soon as these beautiful girls reach puberty, their hair is put into these coils and it's dyed the red color of the earth. And that's a marketing message that the girl is now ready for sale. Last time I was in Africa, I spent the afternoon in East Pokot with this group of girls from one of our rescue schools in East Pokot. And one by one, they all stood up and they told me their stories, when they were cut, when they were sold. One girl stoically talked of being beaten so badly by her husband that she knew she would die if she didn't run right at that point. And then as she was telling her story, tears started falling down her face. And that was at the point when she said she had to leave her 2 babies behind when she ran. And the mother and me jumped up and I went to hug her, and she leaned into that hug for just a moment, and then she pushed me away saying, our stories need to be heard. And I know that the future for these children comes down to whether we here in the developed world acknowledge Ubuntu, that we actually are one human race, and when these girls suffer, we suffer too. We currently have to raise $3 million each year. It keeps me up at night, but I could actually spend triple that tomorrow. So just to finish off, given that we're all here at a beautiful dinner party, I sat with a wee girl at one of our 42 schools once on Chapati Day, and everyone loves Chapati Day. It is rare, but sometimes alongside their maize and beans, our school lunch also includes a chapati, which is pan-fried bread made from flour and water, basically. And when the children realize it's Chapati Day, the noise increases like 10,000-fold as the cheering and the excitement and the laughter just totally erupts. And Grace and I sat on outside the classroom on the corridor that's outside the classroom there, and we leant against the wall while she ate her school lunch. And little Grace had this huge smile on her face looking at her massive bowl of maize and beans and chapati. And she just looked so angelic and full of potential with her gorgeous big brown eyes, which were pretty much as big as her plate. And I pointed to her chapati and I said in my terrible Kiswahili, mazuri, which is my version of yum. And without any hesitation, 6-year-old Grace, who had walked 7 kilometers to school that morning, picked up her treasured chapati and she gave it to me. Grace and everyone in the communities we work with at So They Can, they live and breathe Ubuntu. They ask me regularly, Cass, how can I be happy if those around me are sad? Their Ubuntu approach to life is what makes Grace just delight in sharing the very little she has. I have learned so much from what I call my classroom of Africa. If there's one thing I would love to impart to everyone, all 2,500 of you around the world listening tonight, it is to just embrace this philosophy of Ubuntu. We will all be so much happier and richer for it. And don't worry, by the way, I didn't eat Grace's chapati. I did give it back to her. And so thank you for being here. We now have a really short video from the children as they tell our story so much better than I do.
How beautiful are those little kids' smiles? How beautiful. Tanzania, Kenya, that's where our focus is tonight, education in those wonderful African nations. We can help them. We can help them through this global dinner party. Peter Overton here, your Master of Ceremonies, coming to you through Momentum Media here in Sydney at the Hilton Hotel at Luke Mangan's brilliant glass brasserie. We're thrilled to be here, but we're thrilled to know that there are at least 480 dinner parties going on around the world tonight. Scotland, New Zealand, the United States of America, Germany, Africa, England. Unbelievable. Singapore as well. To know you're there watching this fills my heart, as those videos would have done as well. If that hasn't got to you, well then I don't know what will, because that is why we're here tonight. So you would have heard from Neil Finn, of course, when I threw to him in Auckland in his studio. Please, Neil is going to dedicate a couple of songs to anyone you want. He's going to play them into your dinner party and all the rest of the dinner parties as well around the world. So to bid for Neil Finn, sotheycan.org/auction. And you've got 20 minutes from now to get those bids in. sotheycan.org/auction. We also have our silent auction, which is running till 9 o'clock Sydney time? 9 o'clock Sydney time. sotheycan.org/global dinner. Amazing. So it's not hard. Think about those kids. Think about the dinner party. I wish you could smell what I can smell. I'm in the engine room of Glass Brasserie. It's an open kitchen into the beautiful dining room of this great venue. And I can smell all these beautiful, what do you call them, herbs? I don't know, herbs, spices. That's what it is, silly old me. That's why I read the news and report for 60 minutes. I don't do cooking shows. But we've got beautiful fruits and berries, vegetables, coriander there. Luke Mangan is in the wings. He's just sorting out a couple of things in the glass kitchen, and then we'll be back live in about 3 or 4 minutes. So I encourage you, get a drink, get your ingredients ready, move to the kitchen, have the television or the laptop that we're beaming into you, have it there, and Luke is going to take you through every single step of the 2-course meal that we're having here on our global dinner party. Fantastic. See you in a minute. Good evening from the Glass Brasserie at the Hilton Hotel in Sydney. Hello Scotland, New Zealand, the USA, Singapore, England, Africa, Germany. Peter Overton here, coming to you live from Sydney, Australia, with one of our most celebrated chefs, the wonderful Luke Mangan, who is joining us tonight to take us through the dinner party. Luke, welcome.
Welcome to you. You're my sous chef tonight.
Well, I can reheat baked beans, that's about it. But can I just say to everyone watching, and Luke's going to take over, I promise you.
Well, with your assistance.
I listened, I hear you, sir. What do I call you, chef? Chef. During COVID, Luke was one of our most passionate advocates for relaxing rules, getting restaurants open, keeping the industry going when things were getting better. And during the middle of all of this, he was on the media everywhere, newspapers, radio, television, on our news bulletins every night. And Cass Treadwell, our CEO, said, Pete, you know a celebrity chef, a chef that's revered around the world. I said, do I ever? But I nervously sent Luke this long text, basically giving him a get-out clause. And he just came back and said, what's your ask? And I told him, and he said, I'm in. That was his words. And I'm so grateful to you, Luke, because you're a busy man, you're up and running, and you've given us this chef's table. You had to delay the booking, didn't you?
I did. When you texted me and we exchanged details, I forgot to check if this table was actually booked, our chef's table in the restaurant. And then when I found out about 2 weeks later, I rang the customer and said, look, I know you're booked in at 6:30 or whatever it was, and if you come in at about 7, I should be done. I'll give you some champagne and oysters in the bar, and you can meet my new sous chef for the night. And they agreed, so they're happy. So you're going to meet some people tonight.
And I'm delighted. And what supporters they are to allow us to do this tonight. So we've got about half an hour. I've known Luke for 20 years. I met him in Hong Kong when he was a restaurateur up there. He had this massive empire, and he took us out for the best dinner I've ever had. But I think tonight is going to top that because, as I said, he just went, bang, I'm in, because he understands the needs for Kenya, for Tanzania, and how important education is in breaking the poverty cycle and then getting a generation of potentially future chefs.
You bet, because who doesn't love cooking?
Who doesn't love cooking? My wife.
I thought Jess was a great cook.
She's not.
But this is, food to me is all about simplicity and letting flavours speak for themselves. And you know what, when I'm at home cooking, I don't like 100 different ingredients. And when I get people coming over to my house for dinner or lunch, I actually get them to cook with me. Mm-hmm. So
Fantastic.
is there any chance I can get a glass of wine now? Pete, would you like a glass of wine?
I would love a glass of wine.
I think there we go. Look, I think it's very important when you cook.
Thank you, Phil. Phil's from Momentum Media, everyone.
Thanks, Phil.
Who's donated their time as well. Cheers. Thank you, mate.
I'm only going to have a little sip because
Me
I've got
too.
to work for the rest of the night. But I hope you're all having a nice glass of wine at home, watching what we're doing. And what we're going to do is start with our dessert, because we're going to get this put in the fridge, because after you hear Neil Finn play, you're going to have dessert sort of thing. Did you know, Pete, by the way, 25 years, I believe it was, since Neil Finn finished Crowded House at the Opera House?
What, I remember the concert.
This month. It was incredible.
I think, wasn't there about 150,000 people
I was one of them.
Were you?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It was fantastic.
I saw him when he was playing for Fleetwood Mac, when he,
Really?
Out of Kudos Bank Arena in Sydney. Right. The best. And the whole place went through the roof. Neil,
Neil's been here as well, actually, which is good for dinner, or lunch, actually.
well, I hope all our visitors, when the borders reopen, Luke,
Yeah.
to the rest of the world, and it's starting to happen, that people will come. And I encourage you to come to one of Sydney's finest restaurants that this man runs and owns, Glass Brasserie at the Hilton Hotel. And that's why we're so grateful for you to give your chefs your time for us.
Well, it's for a good cause. So let's start. So with these berries. Now, some of you may have already started this recipe or done it beforehand, but really simple. So we get about a cup of sugar into a pot, a cup of water. You put that on a pretty high heat, and the same amount of balsamic vinegar. Now, if you haven't got balsamic vinegar, Pete, you can always use a Chardonnay vinegar.
Okay.
But what the key for this is, to me, berries are so much in season. You know, they're beautiful. It's got some blackberries that we've cut in half. How good are they?
Beautiful.
Straight from your garden. You've got a lovely garden at home, have you, Pete? Or growing berries and herbs?
Oh, I mow the lawns, that's
That's
about
it.
Yeah.
Some blueberries. And I've just quartered some strawberries. So it's about a punnet of each of those berries.
How much will this serve?
Oh, this will suit
Many people?
probably just you and me, actually,
Yeah, yeah.
but most people about four.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Because we like to eat, don't we? Yeah. So it's really important. So with this syrup, the sugar, the water, and the balsamic vinegar, the balsamic's quite sharp and acidic. So what you want to do is bring it to the boil The sugar's going to neutralise that sharpness of the vinegar, and when you do boil it, it cuts the acid out of that vinegar. I bet you've never had balsamic berries before.
I haven't, and I was interested when you put that ingredient in. I thought, how is that going to work?
Wow.
Because I usually have that on my lettuce leaves.
Well, there you go, there you go. But trust me, this dish is a really simple, full-flavoured dish, and you know, you can do it with figs, you can do it with stone fruit, even mango if you haven't got berries or you don't want to do berries. So that's a really important thing.
I've noticed you haven't put the raspberries in at this point.
You're a very observant man, my friend.
Thank you, my friend.
So why I haven't done that, once this syrup comes to the boil, I pour it over there, just let it macerate for a minute, and then I'll put those raspberries on top because they're a bit more delicate. They're a bit like me, delicate, soft.
Let me lift that up to the camera. I've always wanted to, let me lift this. I've always wanted to say this is something we prepared earlier, but tonight it is absolutely fresh. So there's your berries, and your raspberries, as Luke said, haven't gone in as yet. That's my contribution.
But hang on, Pete, I want you to try this.
Okay.
I'll let you take that. Might be a little hot. Good?
Very nice. Very, very nice.
Very nice or very nice?
Very, very nice.
Sorry. There we go. So that's just come up to the boil. Sugar, water, vinegar. Take that off the heat. And I'm just going to pour that hot syrup over those berries. Now, if you want, you could put some cinnamon stick or cloves or some ginger in there as well if you want. Look at that. That'll just marinate there like that. And then, quick stir. Put those raspberries in now because they're a bit softer and a bit mushier. Whoop.
Oh, we lost the
We
light.
lost the light. All good. See, live things happen.
Around the world. I love it. So how long do we leave that there
So
for?
what I'm going to do now, Pete, is just cover this in a bit of cling film.
Yep.
And that'll make it cook and stew a little bit longer.
So everyone around the world at the moment is in their kitchens following every step of the way. And I hope it's going well for you, that you've followed Luke, you've been able to boil your sugar, balsamic vinegar and water, a cup of water from memory.
Yep.
You put your berries in and then you put your raspberries in at the last moment.
Look at
you
that.
brought that liquid to the boil, marinated all the berries, cling wrapped, and what do we do now?
That goes straight into your fridge. Now, once that's going to sit, cool, and we're going to serve that with a beautiful yogurt ice cream.
Fantastic.
Really simple.
Fantastic.
Now for the main course.
Yes, what are we having?
Simple, but tasty. And, you know, food, as I said before, is all about tasty.
When did you discover your passion for food, Luke? Just before we get into the main.
When I got asked to, when they kicked me out of school at the age of 14,
Right.
I spent more time outside the classroom than inside the classroom. And I fell into a cooking apprenticeship, which was the best thing that ever happened to me, really. And just things progressed from there. Went off to London to cook for the famous Roux brothers. I don't know if you know of them. Cooked there for 4 years and came back to Australia and got pretty lucky with the way things progressed.
And you've worked for cruise companies, airlines. You've been, you've done it all. You've had up to 26 restaurants at one time, didn't you?
We were lucky enough to have 5 restaurants on P&O Cruises, and we hope here in Australia that cruising will happen perhaps next February or March in a safe way. So we're looking forward to that happening. They've got some new cruise ships coming back. But we've got glass here. We've been here for 17 years in this.
Is that right?
17 years. So we've been very lucky. And then we're opening. We've got a Luke's Kitchen brand, which was also in a place in Waterloo in Sydney. We're relocating that to a new boutique hotel called the Kimpton Hotel, which opens in January. The first Kimpton hotel to Australia.
Brilliant.
So we're looking forward to that. You'll be coming to the opening.
Totally.
Yeah.
But every day you're on the tools, you're on the pans, you're on the pots, you're cooking something. Do you love every second of it? Do you enjoy the cutting, the prep, the thinking about what it's going to taste like?
Well, as you saw, there's about 20 chefs in the kitchen there tonight, and we've got 260 people booked in the restaurant, which is fantastic, and it's a bit after 6, so busy night. I'm not in there as much slicing and dicing. I guess my role now is about theming a restaurant, because restaurants just aren't about the food. I think they're all about the music, the lighting, the wine list, the flowers, the staff, the people, the culture that look after the customer. You, the customer, who come to our restaurant. That's really important. So that's what I do. I look after that.
And do you go to other restaurants as well and just enjoy the experience of other people cooking for you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
But you know what? No one invites me to their house to be, and no one cooks for me.
We're too nervous.
Why? Why is that?
Well, I could do a boiled water with a garnish of parsley. That's about it. So what are we doing for this? Is what part's this?
Okay,
now?
so this is for the main course. We're doing a tandoori chicken. Pretty simple.
Yep.
But most of you may have already done this because you had the recipe beforehand, but I just want to show you what we're doing. So that's just yogurt.
Yogurt, okay.
Now spices, Pete.
Yes.
Pick them up, have a sniff, and tell me what you think they are.
Well, I won't be able to name them
Why not?
because I can't. What's that one?
I reckon that's turmeric.
Turmeric, okay.
So some turmeric into the yogurt, beautiful, and that gives that nice colour. Look at that. What do you reckon that one is?
That actually doesn't have a smell, Luke.
Doesn't it? Right. What's that one, MJ? You know why does it smell? Mustard powder.
Mustard powder. Interesting.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Next one.
Oh, that's beautiful. I know that one. I've had that. Give me a...
Cumin.
Cumin. Stunning. Do you want it in there?
In there.
So I hope you're following us wherever you are in the world.
So give that a good mix. All of that.
This was all on their ingredient list, wasn't it?
Yeah, very much so.
I know that one.
That's
beautiful.
If you don't know what that is, we've got problems.
Fresh garlic.
You bet.
Fresh garlic. In?
Yep, all in. There we go. Delicious. So, you know, you've got the recipe.
Luke, tell them all. Sorry.
Only 2 minutes left to bid on Neil's 2 songs. 2 minutes.
2 minutes, everyone. And sotheycan.org/auction. sotheycan.org/auction. 2 minutes. We really encourage you, if you're ready to pounce, do it now. Don't know that one?
Chili?
Chili? Chili.
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 I thought so.
Beautiful.
Okay.
We should open a restaurant one day, Pete, the way we're working here.
Released a food truck.
What's that one?
It doesn't smell either.
Paprika.
Paprika.
Paprika. Smoked paprika. Beautiful. So you can add as many spices. Keep it going. Keep it going.
I'm just hoping they're keeping up with us.
Oh, you can cool.
Oh, that's like you're in a health spa.
Yeah.
Chili jam?
Ginger.
Ginger.
Fresh ginger.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, and we've got one more spice after that.
This one I always get stuck on.
Oh, I know that. I can't read your lips, MJ.
Garam masala.
That's
How do you say it?
Yeah, garam masala. In?
In. Right, so there you go. All those beautiful fresh herbs, spices in there. Absolutely great. That's where you're going to get all your flavour from.
Show them what colour it should be, what it should look like.
Sort of like a tandoori, you know, orange with our lighting there.
Fantastic.
And a bit of lime juice.
You know, Luke, when I do try cooking, we've just discovered slow cooking at home.
Right.
And it's just been a game changer in our household because it's really simple. And then you switch it on and 6 hours later you've got a lovely meal.
Yeah.
But I always, when they say put in lime or lemon, I think, I better squeeze extra in. Can you overdo it?
You can.
And then
Exactly. It's really too acidic.
Yeah.
And if you haven't got a juicer like I think we forgot on set here, you just get the fork and you just do that.
Oh, and I just got it in my eye.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that's a good trick to show everyone. You just put the fork in and like a juicer
and squeeze
it comes out.
Lime juice in the eye. That's fantastic for live TV, isn't it?
That's great.
Now, there you go. So that's your tandoori mix yogurt recipe. Now, you can get chicken thigh, you can get, you can even get some fish or something like that. But I've just got the chicken drumstick. I've taken the skin off.
Yep.
And you really want to marinate that for as long as you can. So minimum, I think it says on the recipe sheet there, for about 6 or 8 hours.
So you just fold all the yogurt with all the spices in it.
Yep.
All over the skinless drumsticks.
Yep, and you could do a thigh meat or breast even, and just marinate that for 6 to 8 hours, which I believe everyone may have already done that.
So this was prepped at home in all the time zones we're in. And,
exactly.
This will be breakfast for some people.
Well,
you know?
yeah, that's right. Then what we do, Pete, so after that's marinated, I'm just going to pretend that's marinated for 8 hours, something we prepared earlier.
Yes, of course. Straight
onto a baking dish and straight into an oven for about 20 minutes.
20 minutes. How hot the oven?
About 180 to 200.
180 to 200 seems to be the temperature for just about everything, doesn't
Pretty
it?
much, yeah.
Well, why is that such a sweet spot?
Well, if you forget the temperature on the recipe, say at 180 to 200 on live TV.
Yeah, 180 to 200, yeah.
But, so, what we're going to serve with this, Pete, is a beautiful cucumber salad with a nice, simple, spicy dressing.
Fantastic.
And it looks simple, it sounds simple, but where it is a winner, it tastes good.
And that's the ethos of your cooking, Luke Mangan.
I think so.
As you said at the beginning, simplicity And it doesn't have to be complex to taste magnificent.
No, exactly right. So, just cucumber, really simple. Peel it like that. I like these speed peelers.
Yep.
Everyone knows how to peel a cucumber. Some people like to keep the skin on, but with this particular dish, I like the skin off. Now, put that over there, Pete. We'll get rid of that.
This is such a thrill for me, and I think everyone from our 480 dinner parties plus, just seeing you at work.
Well, that's right.
Close up.
It's unbelievable. I think my staff have just said the same thing as well.
Does Luke cook much in here?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they all said so, didn't they? Okay, so cucumber, I just very roughly, you can cut it in half and in half again, or slices. But you're going to find with this tandoori chicken, it's got a bit of spice to it and creaminess. And this salad is going to just make it all nice and fresh. What do you reckon? That's about enough for me and you.
Yep.
You guys cut as much as you want. And that just goes in a bowl like that. Now, Pete, you said you love coriander.
I love it. I wouldn't know how to chop it though.
No, but you're going to pick some.
Okay.
Do you mind? I've washed the coriander. Now, if you don't like coriander, you might prefer parsley or dill or another. You got another favourite herb?
Well, I love basil.
Yep.
I love basil with bacon and tomato, cherry tomatoes
Yeah.
and some balsamic and.
Beautiful.
But coriander, I think, is just the most fragrant, most beautiful
It's
herb.
delicious, isn't it?
And I'm looking forward to you, because I never know how to use coriander in terms of what part of the. It's obviously the
Can
leaf.
I trust you with a knife?
Well,
No,
yeah.
you've been.
you go.
Oh, you want me to do it, right?
Yeah, you go.
So it's been washed, nice and fresh. But what I want is really rustic, and using the stalk as well is great because that's where a lot of the flavour is. So you might want to do that a couple of times for
So
me.
how far down the stalk?
Well, you never throw herbs away.
Okay.
Always keep that in for a stock or a soup or something like that.
Okay.
So there's a lot of flavour in that. You might use that in a marinade or something like that.
Righto. I can't cut to save my life.
Don't cut your fingers, Pete.
Right.
Very important. Now, we're going to make this beautiful salad dressing with some lime juice again. Okay, so look at the way we squeeze that lime. Lime and fish sauce. Pete, do you like fish sauce?
Love fish sauce.
So, in the recipe, I think it says about half a juice of half a lime. But again, if you want more lime, you can add that. But you've got some real beautiful flavours happening here. Just get that Pete there off you. So fish sauce, quite salty, quite sharp. So the lime, the fish sauce is going to go really well. You want to add about, 2 teaspoons of fish sauce. Remember, it's quite salty, quite pungent, quite strong. Look at that, Pete. We're currently sitting at 37,300. We wanted 60,000.
Yeah, and we'll get there.
We will get there.
Absolutely will get there. So please, sotheycan.org/global dinner. sotheycan.org/global dinner. That $60,000 we raised tonight will provide a hot meal to these kids in several schools that we're supporting in Tanzania and Kenya. A hot meal every day for an entire year. That means they won't pass out on the way to school. An hour there, an hour back. We take it for granted. We take this for granted. Just sitting here, the ingredients, get in the click of a finger. These kids, my goodness me, we're not that far. We're only about 20 grand in round terms from our target, Luke.
That's amazing.
And you're a big part of this, mate, as is Neil Finn.
Add that coriander to our...
Is that chopped okay?
Well, it's okay. If you're at home, maybe cut it a bit more finer.
Right.
No, I'm joking, Pete. That's
Okay.
good.
So
Beautiful
just
job.
like that?
Yep, in there. All of that.
All of that coriander?
Yeah, all of that.
Okay.
Because you really want that fresh, tasty herb flavour. And if you want, you can put some mint in there as well. Now, I'm just adding a bit of olive oil, Pete. Now, you like chilli?
Yep. Not too much.
Not
but
too much.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that smells good.
Bit of chilli there. If you could mix that for me, Pete.
Of course.
And I'm just going to add a little bit more fish sauce. So this dressing is, look at that.
Oh, it smells fantastic.
I'm going to add a bit more fish sauce.
And why are you adding more fish sauce?
Well, because I just want to loosen it up a bit. Give it a bit more liquid, saltiness. There we go. Give that a mix. Get rid of that. All right. So now what we're going to do, we're going to quickly plate up this chicken dish.
Yep.
That chicken's probably ready now in the oven, MJ, If I could get that. The cooked chicken. Wonderful. Drop that there. Beautiful. Thank you. Pete, the cucumber.
Yep.
Just on the base of the plate. Very simple. Very simple.
I was just going
Do
to
you want to put it there? I think
Yeah,
the
let's do
camera's
that.
zooming
Yeah.
in on there.
Yeah.
Pete, bit of salt, bit of pepper on there, please. That one salt, one pepper.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
stupid me. That's the pepper.
It's all good.
That enough?
Yeah, beautiful. You do that well, mate.
I have so much admiration
Look at that.
for you guys and girls, how you the chefing.
Just a drizzle of olive oil.
Yeah.
Now, Pete, there is some mint there as well. Do you want to just pick me a few little mint leaves,
Yep.
please? Put that over there. Now, the tandoori chicken, about 20 minutes in the oven.
Yep.
I just like to place it on top. See how the yogurt and the spices are still coated
Stunning.
over it?
Stunning.
Simple, tasty, and wait for it, Pete, there's more. You get this beautiful dressing with that fish sauce, lime juice, olive oil, loads of coriander, chopped chili, and you just drizzle it all over there, like that. And that just marinates in that cucumber as well. How good's that, though?
And how long would you, between plating and serving, as you say, marinate, does marinate mean you need to give it time, or is it ready to roll?
The chicken marinate for about 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
But I mean,
six,
when you dress it like that, is
Oh,
that
that's
ready to go?
ready to go.
Ready to go.
How good is that?
Unbelievable.
Now, if you had a 20 people over at your house, you've got 40 drumsticks in the oven,
Yeah.
cooking away like that.
Or chicken thighs, or
Well, you know
whatever.
that. Now, I'm going to show you quickly how to plate this dessert.
Please.
Because...
What about the mint? I was having
Oh,
the
yeah,
dessert.
put it on top, mate. Put
Yeah.
it on top, yeah, sorry.
So like,
See, I'm under pressure, Pete. I forget things too.
well, I just wanted to
Look at that.
contribute in a small way. There you
Yeah,
go.
that's a very interesting. So, very nice. So, because what people are going to do just before we wrap up, we're going to get you to put the chicken in the oven while Neil's playing, and when he's finished playing, you're going to sit down and enjoy the chicken. So now we're going to plate this beautiful berry dish. Right, now, you know the berries?
Yeah.
They were the berries that we put in the fridge. You wait to try these, Pete. Seriously. Here we are. I want you to taste them, Pete, and I'm going to serve this up. Thank you. Get all the berries, the vinegar. Good?
So good.
Balsamic,
Oh.
sugar, water, and berries.
The balsamic really works.
You sound surprised.
Not at all. Not with you at the controls, but that really works.
So this would feed about 4 to 6 people, right?
Yeah.
So what I do for a serve is just get all that in there like that.
Yep.
Little hole in the middle.
Yep.
But what's most important, guys, is get all that syrup, as much syrup as you can, because it really, the acid, the balsamic, and the sugar flavours cuts through all that berry stuff. So it's really good. And you know what we're serving it with, Pete?
Yogurt?
Yogurt ice cream. Yogurt ice cream. But you know what? If you can't get yogurt ice cream, wherever you are in the world, just do fresh yogurt. And then just scoop that. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Isn't that good?
Beautiful.
And what I would do, Pete, with a bit of the mint as well,
Yep.
just tear it over.
Don't want to pick the coriander.
No coriander here, just a bit of the mint.
Oh, I'm not good on the I rip them apart.
That's okay. It's very rustic, this dessert.
Is that too big?
Yeah, it is a bit. Just that, you know why I do it from up high, Pete?
Oh,
you know
I
why?
see. Why is that?
Because it looks good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's all about the theatre.
Isn't it?
All about the theatre.
So there you have 2 really simple dishes. Tandoori chicken, which even Pete can make.
Yep.
Cucumber.
Yep.
Bit of fish sauce, chili, lime juice. Tandoori chicken baked in the oven for 20 odd minutes. And then the berries, which you prepared earlier, with that balsamic syrup and yogurt ice cream.
Perfect. It has just been magnificent. And I can't wait to try that. I
No,
hope.
that's mine.
Oh, that's yours? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're watching us in the world, and I'll go through it again, Scotland, New Zealand, Australia, the United States, Singapore, England, Africa, Germany, and no doubt other countries as well. I hope you've enjoyed a really special half an hour of not only supporting So They Can, but having Luke Mangan, one of Australia's most celebrated chefs, who's given up his time tonight for us to teach us how to cook simplistic but very tasty, beautiful meals. And it's been a treat for me to stand next to this great Australian to contribute to So They Can. Luke, I hope you've enjoyed yourself.
I've had a ball, mate.
I'm so grateful.
Well, thank you very much for asking me, and it's a great cause, and I thank everyone who's tuned in to watch us, and let's raise money for what is such a good cause.
Why don't you go sotheycan.org/
Have you got my glasses?
sotheycan.org/global dinner.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've had Luke Mangan. Neil Finn is about to entertain us through your dinner parties. I mean, could it be better?
Can we hear Neil Finn through the whole restaurant? Can we play Neil Finn through the whole restaurant live? How good would that be?
How good would that be?
Yeah.
It would be brilliant. But
maybe not.
Thank you to the team. Thank you to Momentum Media. Thank you to Luke Mangan, Glass Brasserie, and all the wonderful men and women in the kitchen tonight. Our guests, the people who booked here at the chef's table.
You've got to go.
That we've moved out. How are we going, Emily? Is there anything more?
Wow.
Really? So that takes us to close to 50K. Oh my God, we've just been told by Emily from So They Can that we're close to $50,000 and they haven't even started eating and they haven't even heard Neil Finn play yet. So this is fantastic. We're right on target to help these kids in Kenya and Tanzania break the poverty cycle, give them a good meal and not collapse. That's the line I keep thinking about as we drive our kids to school, that these kids walk an hour or plus to school and home every day. Luke Mangan.
Thank you, Pete.
You're a great Australian.
And so are you.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks so much, Pete and Luke. That's awesome.
Mate,
Luke, I am.
Legend.
Are we clear?
Are we? I think I'm on. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to our New Zealand borders opening, so that I can fly over there and drive straight to that Glass Brasserie restaurant of yours, Luke, and devour your menu. We're all sitting here. I've got a dinner party here with about 40 of us, and we're all very jealously looking at all that wine behind you guys, thinking that looks pretty good too. Pete, goes without saying, best sous chef ever. Thank you guys very much. I'd also just like to personally thank our amazing Probo IT support, Momentum Media, Alex and Demi for all your help in this lead up, and Lindsay and Rory for being behind the cameras tonight, giving up your Saturday night and making all this happen for the 2,500 of us all around the world. Pretty exciting. So we'll be back soon with Neil Finn to entertain you all. So make sure you fill up your glasses, sit down, get your dancing shoes on, and we'll see you soon. Thank you. the first time. Hello, everyone again. Sorry, the music stopped now, so I can hear. So we're doing incredibly. Thank you all. We're up to $50,000 of our $60,000 target. It's all going mad around the world, so that's incredibly exciting. I do just want to say that if by just to remind you that it costs us $20,000 a year to provide one hot meal a day for 800 children in one of our schools. So we've gone to the target of 3 schools, which is $60,000 to provide those children, 24,000 children, 2,400 children, one hot meal a day every school day. So if we go over the 60,000, that's just amazing, because it just means more of those children that are going to get those meals secured for next year. So thank you for your generosity, and yeah, keep going. It's really bloody exciting. So, okay, the first time I met Sharon and Neil Finn, Sharon gave me the most beautiful necklace that she had made. Sharon makes incredible jewelry. And Neil gave me a copy of his book, Love This Life. It's a collection of his lyrics, pretty much just poetry in essence. So Neil and Sharon innately live and breathe that concept of Ubuntu. And I see this every time Neil graciously gives his time to So They Can, which he has done for 10 years now. And he brings people together to support our children in Africa. And Mother Teresa once said, and I really love this quote, "The problem with the world is we draw our circle of family too small." So thank you, Neil, for constantly enlarging your circle of family to include So They Can's children and their families in Africa, and also for now inviting all of us to do the same. It gives me a huge amount of pleasure to welcome my friend and So They Can ambassador, Neil Finn.
Thank you, Cass. Those are very kind thoughts and kind words, and right back at you. It's been 10 years associated with the amazing work that you guys do. It all started with you backpacking through Africa. You know, some people live up to their name with the name Treadwell. It was, you really did. And yeah, I hope we can bring this beautiful evening to a good head. And it's fantastic that people are digging deep to educate children, really. And it's that simple in places where that there's tremendous problem with resources. Suddenly there's a lot of bright lights and bright minds emerging from these schools. So thank you, Cass, and thank you to Emily and all the people that work for you. And also thank to Peter and Luke for providing not only what by the looks of it, an incredible meal, but good entertainment, value, and yeah, I'm just really pleased to be part of the whole thing. So I'm going to play some songs for you now. I won't have the beautiful luxury of being able to hear or sense you or hear you singing along, but please do. You know, you can bang your glasses together, play the kitchen percussion, whatever you want to do. But I'm happy to have you singing along, listening, and then hopefully enjoying a delicious meal. And yeah, I'm going to start off with a couple of songs, and then I have dedications, because a couple of people have really gone hard to secure some dedications, and I have them standing by. So here we go. Tell me all the things you would change. I don't pretend to know what you want. When you come around and spin my top, time and again, time and again. The fire where I lit my spark. I am not afraid of the dark. Your words devour my heart and put me to shame, put me to shame. And your 7 worlds collide whenever I am by your side. Dust from a distant sun will shower over everyone. Still so young to travel so far, old enough to know who you are.
wise enough to carry the scars without any blame. There's no one to blame. So easy to forget what you learned, waiting for the thrill to return, feeling your desire burn when you're drawn to the flame, and your 7 worlds collide. Whenever I am by your side, dust from a distant sun, a shower over everyone. Dust from a distant sun, a shower over everyone. And I'm lying on the table, washed out with a flood, like a Christian fearing vengeance from above. I don't pretend to know what you want, but I offer love. 7 worlds will collide whenever I'm by your side. Dust from a distant sun, you shower over everyone. Yeah. Oh, let your mind go, let your mind go anywhere it wants. Let your mind go everywhere it wants. And I fell asleep as the dust laid on the ground.
That was Distant Sun from an album Together Alone. And as Peter actually pointed out, I think it's 25 years since we did our, what was at the time billed as Farewell to the World concert on the steps of the Sydney Opera House, with an insane amount of people spread out around the forecourt and on boats and, around the entire circular quay. Incredibly memorable occasion. A huge health and safety problem, but luckily no one got hurt. We were back there not that long ago now, playing to, I think 5,000 was considered a safe amount these days, but yeah, it was an extraordinary night, and it was 25 years ago, so we definitely played that song on that night, and we probably played this next one as well. I hope it's coming through loud and clear, is it? There we go. Oh, I'm only getting written chat messages about the stuff, so just a little, if somebody could just reassure me and say you're getting the sounding okay. I hope so. I must presume it is.
Really close tonight, feel like I'm moving inside her, lying in the dark. I think that I'm beginning to know her. Let it go, I'll be there when you call. And whenever I fall at your feet, you let your tears rain down on me. Whenever I touch your slow turning pain, you're hiding from me now. Something in the way that you're talking, the words don't sound right, but I hear them all moving inside you. Go, I'll be waiting when you call. And whenever I fall at your feet, you let your tears rain down on me. Whenever I touch your slow turning pain, the finger of blame has turned upon itself, and I'm more than willing to offer myself. Do you want my pleasure or need my help? Who knows where that might lead? I fall. Whenever I fall at your feet, you let your tears, let it rain down on me. Whenever I fall, whenever I fall,
That was Fall at Your Feet from the album Woodface. I'm sitting here and I'm looking out over Newton Road in Auckland, which is a lot busier than it was a few weeks ago, as things are starting to pick up now. I know in Sydney, life is returning, loosely speaking, to normal. I don't think it'll be a while. I don't think it'll be all that soon when everything's completely normal. In fact, what will normal be? But hopefully it will mean that we all take some of the good things that have come from this period, some of the appreciation of what's important, what we miss, what we don't miss, together with us, and we create a slightly better world for ourselves and for the world. That's my hope. Now, okay, so it's time for the first dedication, and I think this one has come all the way from New York, so it's very late over there, I think. In fact, the New Yorkers are probably the most East Coast, North America, probably the most dedicated to be up at this hour if you are up live. This is from Jennifer to Matthew, and it's a particular request of a song which is very appropriate. It mentions a time at the very beginning, which is actually it's even later than that in New York now. So I'm sorry it had to be this way, New York. I hope your tandoori chicken's going down well as you await the new dawn. It's called Wherever You Are.
Wherever you are, it's 3 a.m. and I'm awake. Imagine the light upon your blue, transparent face. Through colored glass, it filters down to warmest red, faded. Well, I'm the one who reads your mind, sees my life in your design. True companion at your side, gracious and good when all around is turning black, restless and brave when laid upon suburban grass. Your timing is right. Remove the sad, persistent thought. Hold the course. Well, I'm the one who reads your mind, sees my life in your design. True companion at your side. Well, I'll give you something when I'm not around to make you smile. And if you think it, then it must be true. And if only I could make it through. I'm in my bed, wherever you are. Your timing is right. Remove the sad, persistent thoughts. Hold the course. Well, I'm the one who reads your mind, sees my life in your design. True companion at your side. I'll give you something when I'm not around to make you smile. And outside that wasteland, and if only I could make it through. If you think it, then it must be true. Wherever you are. Wherever you are. Wherever you are. There you have it. I haven't played that one for a while, but I managed to get there. A big thank you to Sharon for supplying the lyrics at very, very short notice for me there, because this auction, which is going spectacularly well, I've got to say. We're at 54,000. We're aiming for 60. I think we can get beyond that. But yeah, as you await your dinner coming from the oven and you've poured a couple of glasses of Chardonnay, pass them around to your friends. Have a think about digging deep. Let's get this total up, everybody, so they can. Now, I might as well move straight along to this next dedication. As I said, that was from Jennifer for Matthew. A lovely dedication, and I hope that whatever ridiculous hour is in New York, you're enjoying yourself, and look forward to seeing you out in the audience next time we're in America, which hopefully we will be. It's in the schedule for next year, so won't be that be a beautiful feeling. Right, the next one I've got a dedication. Now I've got to look at this one. I'm going multiple devices here, people. Oh, all I've got to do now is remember my passcode. Have my phone here handily positioned so I don't get this wrong. This next dedication, the second winner is Kimberly. And the song she's asked for is Love This Life, which actually Cass was referring to. It is the title of a book of lyrics, which are now somewhat out of date. Probably needs an update, actually. But yeah, it has. She was very kind to call them poetry. I think they're lyrics, and some of them are better than others. But that's my own. Always got a few little question marks about the last few lines of every song I ever write, really. But they all stand up well enough. She's wants to dedicate it, Kimberly, to all of the friends of the Ends, wherever you are in the world, but in particular to Kate Vos, who lived in the UK and unfortunately passed away a month ago. And I'm sure that she is very much missed by the community of Friends of the Ends, people who are very tight and have been for quite some time. And I've always completely blown away and amazed by
the community of people that listen to my music and communicate with each other recently on Fang Radio, which has not been appearing so much live these days, but I believe there is quite a good archive. So look up Fang Radio on Mixler. There's a whole lot of programming from last year. And hopefully you are all listening, all you people anyway. This is for Kate and from Kimberly, and it's really for all the friends of the Ends. Kate and Kimberly came to all the shows in 2006. Love the slide.
Seal my fate. I get your tongue in the mail. No one is wise till they see how it lies. Love this life. Don't wait till the next one comes. Gonna pedal my fate. The wheels are still turning round, turn round. And maybe the day will come when you'll never have to feel no pain. After all my complaining, gonna love this life, gonna love this life, gonna love this life, gonna love this life. And so they threw you in jail, whatever you've done. It was 1,000,000 to 1. But don't just love this life, even when it's holding you down. Gonna pedal my fate. The wheels are still turning round, turning round. And maybe the day will come when you'll never have to feel no pain. After all my complaining, gonna love this life, gonna love this life, gonna love this life, gonna love this life. There's something that you can do, even if you think that I hate you. Stop your complaining, you made it defenseless. When you love this life, gonna love this life, gonna love this life. You'll never know why. Gonna love this life, gonna love.
That was Love This Life from Kimberly, Kate, and beyond. Yeah, I hope this is coming through loud and clear. It's enjoyable to play for you. I haven't sung this loud, actually. I sit in here usually, and it's a very quiet, intimate space, and sing quietly to myself. But it's good. I think the microphone's coping with it. This is a microphone I use for this is the same as I used for Fang Radio, and it's a hype mic, and it was generously supplied by Apogee. I'm giving them a little plug, Bob. And yeah, actually the next song that's been requested, dedicated to Kate and Denise, and it's a song I normally play on piano, I haven't actually, in theory, that's quite possible I can do it on piano again, but I might have to move this mic so that it's a little bit handier placed. A little bit of an experiment, this, folks, and you're going to get my profile rather than my front-on view. But what the hell, it's live. Let's just see what happens. Don't know what that is. Green. Okay, I guess it's all right, isn't it? Now I'll have to play the piano really quietly so you can hear my voice, I think. So yeah, let's just see how this works.
I don't want to say I love you. That would give away too much. You're to be detached and precious. The only thing you feel is vicious. I don't want to say I want you, even though I want you so much. It's wrapped up in conversation, whispered in a hush. Though I'm frightened by the word, think it's time I made it hurt. No more empty self-possession, vision swept under the mat. It's no New Year's resolution, it's more than that. Now I wake up happy, warm in lover's embrace. No one else can touch us while we're in this place. So I sing it to the world, simple message to my girl. No more empty self-possession, vision swept under the mat. It's no New Year's resolution, it's more than that. And there's nothing quite as real as the touch of your sweet hand. I can spend the rest of my life buried in the sand. Frightened by the word, think it's time I made it hurt. So I sing it to the world, simple message to my girl. No more empty self-possession, vision swept under the mat. It's no New Year's resolution, it's more than that. And there's nothing quite as real as the touch of your sweet hand. I can spend the rest of my life buried in the sand.
Okay, well, hopefully that worked out on the piano. 3 dedications. That was for Kate and Denise, and from an anonymous donor. So mystery and intrigue. We've got it all tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Good food, music, mystery and intrigue. and a good heart and a good cause. I hope you might be almost eating by now. Looking up to see if I've got any messages. Okay, I have you. Yes. Thank you. Perfect. Host says there must be the sound. That's good. I've probably got another song in me, I think. I'll not sure what there is no program, is there? It's just happening in real life. It's nothing that's that urgent, unless you're in New York, and sleep might be. Oh yeah, cool. I'm gonna do just gonna do a few old faves really. That's been around some Neil Finn songs there, early Crowded House, a couple of deep cuts. I think I'll just come back to the So They Can. Keep it coming, you good people. Keep supporting them. There's a whole lot of children getting educated. We need them in good health. There is freedom within, there is freedom without. Try to catch the deluge in a paper cup. There's a battle ahead, many battles are lost, but you'll never see the end of the road while you're traveling with me. Hey now, don't dream it's over. Hey now, when the world comes in, they come to build a wall between us. We know that they won't win. Now I'm towing my car. There's a hole in the roof. My possessions are causing me suspicion, but there's no proof. In the paper today, tales of war and it waste, but you turn right over to the TV page. Hey now, don't dream it's over. Hey now, when the world comes in, when they come to build a wall between us. We know that they won't win. I'm walking again to the beat of a drum, countless steps to the door of your heart. Only shadows ahead, barely clearing the roof. Get to know the feeling of liberation and release. Hey now, don't dream it's over. Hey now, when the word comes in, they come to build a wall between us. We know that they won't win. All right, good folk, enjoy your meal. It's been lovely singing songs for you, and I'd like to wish everybody at So They Can an excellent result tonight, and all you people for turning up and supporting the cause. I thank you, and I look forward to being on a stage in front of you in real life. Take care. This is Neil signing off from Auckland.
Oh, thank you, Neil. We're so lucky to have you. And I've had to use brute force literally to stop crazy fans here at my dinner party of about 40 wanting to jump on screen with you and join in. You can hear them, go away. You're not coming in. Go away. So, guys, In fact, one of them is trying to do a little streak thing going on now. So anyway, we are just over, I've just sent them out. We're just over $56,000 that we've raised here tonight. We've got 2 New Zealand and Aussie mates that are having a bit of a bid-off exchange of holiday houses at the moment. They are currently up to about $8,000 for us. Keep that going, crazy Chittos and Mark. Oh, that's them screaming in the background. I also just heard that a really generous donor has offered to donate $5,000 if in the next hour we can collectively around the world match that and get to $80,000. And that would mean collectively you have all enabled 3,200 children in 4 schools to have a hot meal every school day next year. So thank you, guys. The auction closes at 11 New Zealand time, 9 o'clock Aussie time. I'm still trying to keep these streakers away from getting on the screen. We'll be in touch with the lucky winners in a few days' time. Just thank you all around the world, everyone, for eating with us tonight and making our inaugural So They Can global dinner party a phenomenal success. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your night and see you all next year. Bye.